guys, so for today's video I'm doing this like spooky ice cream design. I saw this picture originally on Pinterest, but then I ended up finding the creator on Instagram and found out this was like a whole little sticker pack that they made for like Summerween. And I just thought it was super cute and would make for a really cute nail set. So starting off, I'm taking Undead from Ball Pit and painting all of the nails with this. I did 2 coats of this and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. And then for the sprinkles that I'm going to paint on the background, I'm using Beach Brat, Best Buds, Butterfly Babe, and Spiked Lemonade, all from Ball Pit. And to do the sprinkles, I'm just taking a 9mm liner brush and just drawing some little dashes on the nail in random spots and random directions. I did all of the pink sprinkles first across all of the nails, then I went in with the next color and then the next color and the next color. That way I wasn't constantly having to clean off my brush. And then once I got all of the sprinkles on, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I personally didn't feel the need to flash cure or cure in between each color, just because I felt like I wasn't going to mess this up at all, because they weren't going to be going over top of each other or anything. They were going to be spread out across the nail, so I didn't feel like I needed to cure in between each color. But if you want to, or you are afraid of like hitting them and messing them up, you can go ahead and flash cure in between each color. And now for the ice creams, I wanted to make them 3D, so I'm using the Fantasy Clay from Ball Pit. This is my first time using this, so it was kind of fun to see how this product worked and how it compared to other 3D sculpting gels. So I'm starting out by taking the white one, which I think is like unicorn white or something like that, to start the base of this one. I'm doing the little like coffin ice cream sandwich. So to do that, I just kind of smush the ball that I had in my hands to kind of get like a basic like rectangular-ish shape before putting it on the nail. And then I put it on the nail and use my silicone tool as well as like my fingers and my cuticle pusher to get that coffin shape. And then once I get that how I wanted it, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. So usually when using these sculpting gels, I do put down a base coat before applying the sculpting gels, because I feel like it helps them to stick to the nail a lot better, versus if you wipe off the sticky layer, or if you were to top coat beforehand. I just feel like it doesn't stick if there's not a sticky layer there. But for this set, I did just go ahead and leave the sticky layer on the base to see if it would stick like that. And it did. It stuck fine. So if you don't want to apply a base coat, you can just go ahead and leave the sticky layer on your like base color that you put down, and then the gel will stick to that. And as always, I'm giving my warning now that I always give whenever I use sculpting gels, and that is to wear gloves when you are using this product, especially if you are going to be using your hands to sculpt out whatever you are doing, because continued exposure to gel on your skin will eventually lead to an allergy. And if you have that allergy, you can no longer use gel products. You might not even be able to use acrylic or any other type of nail products. There are also everyday products that you use that can also contain these the allergen. It's acrylates. It can be Hema or any other acrylate that is in a gel product. So Hema is the #1 most common allergy, but like I said, there are other acrylates within these products that you could also be allergic to. And if you do develop these acrylate allergies, like I said, you can't use any nail products. You can't use certain products that you would use in your everyday life. You can't get certain dental procedures done. You can't get certain surgeries done. So it extends far beyond not being able to do your nails if you do develop this allergy. So to prevent you from getting that allergy, just be mindful. Keep any exposure to your skin very limited. If you do get any on your skin, immediately clean it off, and don't handle these 3D sculpting gels with your bare hands. I know it's very common to see on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube of people using these products without gloves and just handling them with their bare skin, and that is not safe practice at all. And I've noticed a lot of the people that do use it without gloves will turn around and say, don't do what I'm doing and use gloves with these. But if you're not showing to use gloves, people aren't going to use gloves themselves. So it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. So if you want people to do a certain thing, you also have to do that certain thing, which is why I always wear gloves and say to wear gloves, because this is the proper way to handle this product to prevent any sort of long-lasting effect that could come with using these products improperly. So after I got that bottom layer done, I went ahead and took Fudge Pop from Ball Pit and painted this. Because there is no brown sculpting gel from Ball Pit, I used the white so I could paint it. And I felt like Fudge Pop was the perfect color for like an ice cream sandwich, so that's why I used it. I do want to say I did 2 coats of this to get it fully covered, because as you can see, some spots it is a little like streaky. But I did go ahead and cure each coat for 60 seconds. Also, I really didn't have to paint the entire thing. I could have just painted the edges here and then like the outer part of the top part and leave the center white, because I was going to be adding more white sculpting gel on top of that for the ice cream, as well as adding another layer on top of the ice cream part to create the top part of the ice cream sandwich. So I didn't really have to paint the entire thing the way that I did, but I did because this was going to give me a sticky layer, and like I said, I just feel like these sculpting gels stick a lot better to a sticky layer. Although I don't know, they might have stuck well like if I was sticking them together. Like if I took the sculpting gel, cured it, and then took more sculpting gel and added onto it, it might have stuck fine. But I didn't really want to experiment with that. At this point, I just wanted to stick with what I knew, and that was making sure that there was a sticky layer already down. So that is why I painted the entire thing. And then after that was cured, I took some more of the white and put that down to create that ice cream layer of the ice cream sandwich. And then after I got the ice cream the way that I wanted it to lay, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And then I just repeated what I did for that bottom layer for this top layer. I will say it was a little more difficult to do this top layer because it wasn't sitting completely flat. Because that middle layer there was a little lumpy and bumpy. Also, like the ice cream part didn't go all the way to the edge, so it was kind of like floating on top. So it did take a little more time to get this sculpted into that coffin shape, but after I got it how I wanted it, I did cure it for 60 seconds, and then before I got it shaped, I did poke some little holes into it with a dotting tool, and then after I got those poked into it, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds and then painted it with fudge pop again, and then cured that for 60 seconds, and then the ice cream sandwich was done. And like I said, there's no brown fantasy clay from Ball Pit, so I'm using the brown trippy gel from Nails by Dev to create the little popsicle sticks for the rest of the nails. I chose to use this because I felt like it was a good brown for the popsicle sticks, and I kind of didn't want to use any more of the white because I needed it for another set that I was doing, and I just needed as much white as possible for that set, so I didn't want to put more white down and then paint over it. But after I got those popsicle sticks created, I did go ahead and cure those for 60 seconds. And now for the candy corn ice cream, I'm taking the yellow, orange, and white. I forgot what the names are of them, but I did show them so you can see them there. And I just take some of the yellow, roll it into like a long tube shape, place that down, do the same thing with the orange, but I use a little bit less. And then I took even less of the white and rolled it into like a little ball and placed that right on top to get like a very basic triangle shape. And then I used my silicone tool and my fingers to create that triangle shape of a candy corn. And then to get it all smooth and connected, I took a like a gel applicator brush and dipped it into some alcohol and just ran that over top to kind of melt those three colors together and smooth them out to make it kind of one smooth, even surface, because as you can see here, they are kind of separated and you can see those ridges and you can also feel those ridges. And because I wanted this to look like an ice cream or like a popsicle, I needed it all to be kind of one smooth surface. So that is why I took that brush and some alcohol to create or to make it so it was nice and smooth. Also, I apologize for being so out of frame on a lot of these. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to get these on and get them done and make them look good. And sometimes like it's hard to see when I'm filming, like where I have my hand at to film. It's kind of hard to see because it's so far away, and sometimes I do have to bring the nail a little bit closer to see what I'm doing, and kind of angle it differently so I can see what I'm doing. So like I said, I do apologize for being a little bit out of frame sometimes. But after I got the candy corn to look the way I wanted it, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. For the pumpkin popsicle, I just took a ball of the orange and got the basic shape that I wanted for the popsicle before applying it to the nail, and then refining that shape with my silicone tool and fingers. I definitely recommend, if you are going to be using sculpting gels and sculpting stuff out with them, to get the basic shape of it first before applying it to the nail, and then apply it to the nail. And you can use whatever tools you need to refine that shape. So like your silicone tools, dotting tools, brushes, whatever it is you need to clean up that shape and make it how exactly you want it to look. It makes everything a lot easier than just putting a blob of sculpting gel down onto the nail and then getting the shape that way. It takes a lot longer that way. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting your basic shape first and then sticking it onto the nail and cleaning up that shape afterwards. Once I got that how I wanted it, cured it for 60 seconds before moving on to the little like green monster. I used clover green, I think that said, and again made the basic shape of the ice cream and then placed it onto the nail, cleaned it up with my tools, cured it for 60 seconds after I got it how I wanted it to look. And then, unfortunately, for the zombie popsicle, I didn't get any footage of me sculpting that out, but I did get the footage of me showing which fantasy clay I used for that. Now, for the details on the ice creams. For the candy corn, I'm using the white, orange blossom, and spiked lemonade from Ball Pit. I did mix some colors into them to make them a little bit darker so you could see them. So for the white, I mixed in a little tiny bit of black to make it gray. I forgot what I mixed into the orange and yellow to darken those up a little bit. I don't think I used black because I would have made it way too black, but I did mix some other colors into them to darken them up a little bit so you could see them against the color of the fantasy clay, and did like the little melty drips on those. After I got those painted on, I went ahead and cured for 60 seconds. And then using that yellow again, I painted on the little face of the pumpkin. And then I did 2 layers of this yellow because it wasn't as bright as I wanted it to look against this orange. And adding that second layer really made it pop. And I cured each layer for 60 seconds. And after getting that on, I did take some of that orange that I had mixed up for the candy corn popsicle and created like the little ridges that would be on a pumpkin, and then cured that for 60 seconds. And then for the zombie popsicle, I'm using Beach Brat to create like the little inside that would be the brain part of it. And then I cured that for 60 seconds. And to get that part there that looks like the popsicle was bit, I just took the opposite end of my silicone tool and just pressed it in there to create that dent. And it made it look like that it was kind of bit. And then for the eyes, I used that yellow again, and then I painted on the mouth with the black from Ball Pit, and I cured all of that for 60 seconds. And then I ended up using Beach Brat for the tongue on the zombie as well. And then I did do some little like melty drips on the zombie popsicle, but I don't think I filmed that. I also don't remember what colors I used for that, but you will see like those on this nail later on when I show the finished result. I'm not gonna lie though, when I was doing these nails, like when I got to this part finally, I was kind of over it because I had been working on these nails for so long. I think it took me like 3-ish hours to do all of this, and I was like so over it at this point. I just wanted to hurry up and be done. So there are some parts that I didn't film. Like I said, some of the parts on the zombies, and then I think maybe a couple parts on this. Yeah, I don't think I showed me doing the pupils or the little drippy parts on this popsicle either. But as you can see here, I'm doing the eyes with that yellow again. And then for the mouth, I used, I think it was Lifeguard Crush. It's a super bright neon red, and I thought it would work well with for the mouth of this popsicle. And then cured that for 60 seconds, and then did the little teeth on it and with the white from Ball Pit, and then I cured that again for 60 seconds. And now I'm just taking my matte top coat from LGN and top coating all the nails, including the ice creams. If I were to have just used the, what's it called, Fantasy Clay alone, I probably wouldn't have top coated anything because they do cure matte already, and I wanted these to be matte, but because I did paint over them and those parts were shiny, it was kind of looking a little funny to have like the ice cream part be matte and then what I painted on be shiny. So I went ahead and top coated everything with this matte top coat to make everything matte, including the background. And I have been using the Nails by Dev matte top coat, and I've really been liking it for my sets, but because this did have like 3D elements and you do have to wipe off the Nails by Dev matte top coat to get the matte effect on that, I kind of didn't want to do that. Like I said, I was over it with this set. It had taken me so long and I just wanted to be done. And the LGN matte top coat is not a wipe off top coat, so I could just top coat it, cure it, and be done, and I didn't have to try and wipe everything off and go around and get in all the little like crevices and make sure that everything was completely wiped down. it just made everything a lot easier for me. And here is the final result. I think these are super cute and they're so fun. Like I said, the sticker pack that these were inspired off of was for Summerween. So like obviously these work really well for the summertime because they are ice cream nails, but they also work for Halloween because they are Halloween themed ice creams. And they were just super fun to do. Obviously, you could do whatever colors you wanted, but I did kind of want to stick to the same colors that were used in that picture that I had found. But overall, I think this is a super cute set, and they came out really well. I will say though, for the background, I kind of wish I would have made it more Halloweeny. So instead of doing like bright summer colors, do more like orange, black, purple, green, red, you know, like those type of colors to give it more of that spooky Halloween look. But honestly, the background that I did do, it matches very well and it gives it that bright, fun look that a lot of people do like for Halloween, because you know not everyone likes the dark, spooky, creepy, gross parts of Halloween. And I think this set is really good for anyone who isn't into like the dark spookiness of Halloween, but more likes the bright, fun colors and the fun parts of Halloween. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.